Okay, great. Sorry for being a little late, but we're going to run this meeting on pretty quickly now. So first, let's do a roll call.
Absolutely. Ms. Beal? Here. Ms. Gilman? Here. Ms. Hayes? Here. Mr. McCarthy?
Here.
Ms. McGovern? Here. Ms. Malamas? Here. Valerico? Here. Sortarello? Here. Mr. Weinstein?
Here. Okay, we're going to stand up and do our Pledge of Allegiance. Wait till Jim gets settled. I'm settled. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Hi everybody. So I'm going to do a president's report. So this is my last board meeting after being on the board for 4 years, and just want to take a couple of minutes and recognize some people and thank some people. First off, just wanted to thank some of the people who helped get this party going every day. One is Tina, the other is Miss Conway, Sharon, Alex, Becky, and Deborah for all the work that they've done in getting agendas together and putting everything together. And also, doing this. Do you need to be acknowledged? Not anything with this agenda. It takes a lot of work to kind of put these things together. Also, when we moved to Zoom and Zoom sessions, took a lot of work to make sure we came across really well in this. So just really appreciate all the work that they've done. I want to thank the time I spent with the board that's here today, and also past board members. Especially I'd like to call out 4 people that have been with me for 4 years. Denise, Amy, Irene, and Natalie. So we spent a lot of Tuesday nights together and a lot of talking on the phone and over 4 years. So it's really been nice kind of working with them. And I appreciate all the support given to me by them. And I'm sure we're going to stay friends and stay in touch and stuff. And I'm pretty confident Amy at some point will cry. So also just want to kind of no, I'm good. I just want to the administrators who I think really kind of supported us all the time I've been on board. Appreciate all the presentations you've given all the time, and taking the time to kind of walk me through the classes and the schools and really just being really hospitable and I hope you felt the support that I've given you over the years. Just also want to thank all the teachers and all the parents and all the kids for I really felt honored for meeting all them, going to the special ceremonies and getting to know them. And obviously when there were times that they were going through hard times, I hope they felt like I was an advocate for them and supportive of them. So I just really felt great about the team we have here at the school district. Great teachers, great administrators, great staff. Just a lot of good work by a lot of people. And as parents, continue to be advocates for your kids. And I think the participation that you give in the school district is something that's really needed and appreciated by everybody. Okay, I do want to take a second and just kind of thank Jim. I think I've known Jim too well this last year. We've spoken too many times about too many things, but I did enjoy working with you and getting to know you and kind of understanding all you're up against. And I do want to congratulate you also on retiring and all that kind of stuff.
Thank you. We're going to play golf eventually, right?
So next, I just want to thank my wife and 2 girls for all their support. And one thing is, on Tuesday nights it used to be girls' night, and because I was here, and I just want you to know I won't screw that up. Okay, I'll find something else to do Tuesday night, or I might ask you to move it to Wednesday night. Okay, but I do appreciate all the when I come back from Tuesday nights and not being in such the greatest mood, that you guys do kind of appreciate what's going on. And also, just thanks for all the support that and the love you've given me. So thanks for all that.
They just appreciate that they're usually long asleep before the time they get home.
And I just want to say, I the first time I was on this board was Denise Parlimus was the president, and I went for an open position left by John Stupi, and I interviewed with a lot of people, and Denise was fortunate to give me. I was fortunate Denise, called me up and gave me the opportunity.
My pleasure.
It's
like you weren't gonna cry. Yeah.
And I just want to encourage everybody who's kind of here, all the kids that are on the football team, be a coach, be a player, but also give public service and figure out how to get back to the school district, get back to the community, volunteer for things. There's nothing of a greater feeling than kind of giving yourself and volunteering. And also on Tuesday nights, you get some really good sandwiches sometimes. That's if you get the order at the right time. So I want to just thank you for listening, and that's my president's report. I do want to say before that's my president's report about me. The other part about the president's report is this last couple of weeks or days, there's been a lot of cool things going on around the school district. Bands are playing. I think there's something tonight going on. I sat through the poetry readings at the Poetry Out Loud, right, which was very cool to see. There were some people that really kind of struck me hard and really moved me. I really enjoyed that. I loved participating in that. So I do want to wish everybody a happy, healthy holiday season, a happy New Year, and keep being a Spartan. Okay, keep being a Spartan. So with that, does anybody have anything you want to say?
I would, yes.
Sure, Ms. Palamas, what would you like to say?
I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for your years of service here. And, every December rolls around, someone's coming or going. And I say this every year, this is not an easy position to fill. It's not an easy position to do. You're that target. Especially as the board president, you are the little red circle in that target, and you kind of have to take the good and the bad with every single meeting. And I always say that one of the most important things that a board member can do is serve with a purpose. And as long as that purpose includes the well-being of our staff and our children and the district as a whole, you've done a good job. And I would say, Mr. Weinstein, that you've done a good job. So you will be missed. I've appreciated the conversations we've had. I know at times we didn't always agree, but we were able to sit and talk it out. And I think after that conversation, we would leave just kind of feeling better about the way we each felt about a specific issue or whatever. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate the time that you put into being a good board member. Thank you so much. And I know Tuesday night you're going to be very busy.
Thanks.
No, you have plans already.
Thanks, Denise.
Can I just add?
Sure.
Since you're looking this way.
Sure.
I'm just going to say thank you for your compassion, your humor in many times when we needed it, and also for you to be the other person that cries up here. I used to get a lot of crap for being the crier. And I openly, many people in this room know me well, I'm a crier. And it's okay, and I don't mind doing it, but I'm very happy to have somebody else here doing it, and Jim to laugh at the two of us, sitting between the two of us. But your humor and your compassion are things that I will take with me, Mr. Weinstein, and I will, take tennis lessons. I'm good. I'm actually good right now. But thank you for everything you put to this board and to myself.
OH?
Yeah.
IO?
Heck, don't never say it.
Yes.
As your vice president, I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed working with you. You have a very steady hand and a very steady demeanor, something that really served us well this year. Coming through a pandemic, remote learning, all the things that challenged us, you really kept your cool, and you were able to answer so many questions that parents and staff had about what was happening with their children in school. That's everybody's concern, and you put that first, Jeff. And it was the children and the staff, and I appreciated your steadiness and your calm. I'm not always a calm person, so I admire anybody that can be calm in any situation. And I hope that we can pick up again one day, and that you enjoy your Tuesdays with your beautiful girls.
Well, thanks, Irene. I'm gonna miss our conversations that we had.
Absolutely.
I'm next.
Next.
Jeff, you and I bonded on the campaign trail a couple years ago, and we had served a little bit before that together, but I feel like that's when we got to know each other, and I really felt that you were a friend. And over the years together on the board, I've really come to think of you as a mentor, kind of like a sensei, if you will, and definitely going to miss having you up here, having your wisdom, your guidance, but I've learned a lot from you, and I know that we're going to stay friends and stay in touch.
Absolutely.
We'll miss you up here.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, Natalie. Thanks.
I have something I'm gonna say, Jen.
Okay, John.
The only thing that hasn't been said or somewhat touched on by Denise, but you have plenty of things that you could have spent your time doing, and you chose to be here. And that is a huge deal for people who serve their town. Everyone in this town has something else that they could be doing on Tuesday night that is potentially of more or equal importance. And you chose to be here with us and to serve your town. And for that, and this is not the only area where you serve your town. And so we are forever grateful for that as a town, and I appreciate it.
Thanks, John. Thanks.
Jeff, I wish you the best.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Wanda. Thanks. Okay. So with that, I'm going to go to Dr. Stankiewicz for thanks everybody for the nice things you said, by the way. It really touched me. And by the way, to my family, I did not put them up to this. Right? This is what they wanted to see. So no coercion. So but thanks everybody for all the nice things, and ditto right back at you. Okay.
I think we're student representatives.
Student representatives, are they here?
They are.
They
Good luck.
Good evening, board members, educators, parents, and fellow students. At OTHS and TOIS, the holiday season is in full effect as the high school and intermediate student council introduced a holiday themed spirit week this week, as well as a candy cane fundraiser at the middle school. We have a few upcoming events. Our DECA chapter is going to King University on January 5th for role play, which is the first time in 3 years in person. And the senior class is running the So You Think You Can Dance competition on January 18th at the high school.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jane Rogers. Just a couple more updates for everyone. The winter sports season is in full swing in Ocean Township. Girls basketball beat Neptune, and the OTHS running track team participated in the first meet of the season in Thames River this past weekend. TOIS, their drama club rehearsal for this school year's show Rock of Ages has begun. And both the TOIS and OTHS choirs are holding their winter concerts this week, with the high schools tonight at 7 p.m. and the middle schools tomorrow night at 7 p.m. And lastly, Stevie and I, on behalf of the whole school community, for this year, we just want to thank everyone on the board, all the administrators. I know you guys already touched on it, but thank everyone for their hard work and dedication to making the community a better place. And we hope that we can continue to do our part in the new year and wish everyone luck in the new year. And we just hope everyone has a happy and healthy holiday season. So thank you, everyone.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Very good. Nicely done. Nicely done. Okay, Dr. Stankiewicz.
All right, so what a very special night already, but we have more to celebrate this evening, which is terrific. So tonight we have with us our educators of the year, teachers of the year, and the educational services professionals of the year. And that was always an honor to have these individuals here and to highlight their work and also because not only is it them, and I think they would all agree that they really are representative of all of the outstanding work that goes on in our schools every day. So it's big shoes and big responsibility, but the folks that we have here this evening have earned it, and we're very proud to honor them tonight. So when we call you up, I think your principal's here and has a wonderful certificate for you. And then if it's possible, we'd like to kind of have you all stay up and to have a group shot. Okay? Did I say that clearly? Yeah. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay, good. All right. So we're going to go first with our teachers of the year, and by school, and we'll have the principals kind of come up here. Here's your principals, everyone. Very nice. Congratulations. Okay. Are we ready? Okay. All right. Starting, I believe this is in alphabetical order. Because my administrative assistant is that way, he does it that way. All right. So at Roadside, special education teacher with 8 years of service in the district, Gina Canale. Gina. Yeah.
Yeah, right there, good.
Once we call everybody, we'll get everybody in one nice fine place. Okay. From OTHS, 11 years in the district, science teacher, discovery science teacher, Christina DeMuro. From OTES, should I say it, Emily? Should I say 20 years in the district? Should I say that? I guess I just did, right? 20 years in the district, special education teacher, Emily Eisenbar. Well, I'm going to shift the alphabetical for a moment and just come back to one person. But from Wanamasa, okay, should I really say it?
Yes.
I should say it. We need Wegmans every Sunday. Yeah. So from Wanamasa, art teacher, 29 years in the district, Christine Coop. Usually it's right at the soup aisle is where we typically meet, usually right around the soup aisle. Now, the fifth teacher of the year, I believe, was with us virtually, and we're going to, unfortunately, had something come up last minute, so she couldn't be here tonight. But so we're going to have her back in the new year, so she can be here physically, and I think she's on, as I said, virtually. But from the intermediate school, language arts teacher, 16 years in the district. I think she's online with us, but we're going to applaud you. And we're going to Photoshop you into the picture, but we're going to have you back in a month or so when it's convenient for you, so you can get the in-person honor that you deserve. All right, so now educational service professionals of the year, and the ed services professionals really are many of those individuals who fall really just outside of the category of teacher. Some of them may be teachers, or many of them are. But don't necessarily serve as classroom teachers. They serve in other capacities, but they also serve a variety of functions throughout the district. And there's not one function that all of these folks serve that we could not operate as a district if we didn't have them in that capacity. So we really appreciate all the work that they do every single day. So once again, in alphabetical order, we're going to start with Wanamasa, the instructional coach with 17 years and a board member in another district, by the way. So she understands what you guys are going through. Megan Haynes, Megan. Okay. If any of you have ever tried to enter OTES, you know this gentleman. And I use the word gentleman with, and I mean that. Sometimes people think, the ed services, does a security person fall under ed services? I think without question, right? OTS, one of our THE, not a security monitor, the security monitor for the district. 8 years with us in the district, Joe Heights. Joe. All right, at OTHS at the high school. What I love about this list, honestly, is the array of different roles that we have represented, which is really outstanding. So from the high school, 28 years in the district, school counselor, Nicole Morrow. Nicole. Next up, from Wayside, 35 years in the district, our adaptive specialist in the district, Janet Prentice. Janet. And last but not least, Mr. Amato said to me, I don't think we've gotten, and this is certainly nothing against any of the other ed professionals this year or ed services professionals from previous years. But he said to me earlier this year, we've probably gotten more nominations for this individual than probably any other, since we got back into the program about 5 years ago, than any other person we've ever gotten, which says a lot. Intermediate school, 4 years in the district, Margot Ramirez. Just think. So if we can we kind of get all you guys together and see if we can. Yeah, why don't we do it over here? Probably a little bit too. Yeah. With the
Nice house.
Thank you, ed services professionals and teachers of the year. One other acknowledgement for this evening. So this year, if you're doing anything on Friday nights, you're probably, hopefully, at our field watching our undefeated football team. And I will say undefeated because we all know the last game was one that had a lot of injuries and it was a tough one, but they gave it their all anyway. But I believe undefeated. Great season, and Mr. Klein, I'll never forget when the first time I met you. I came to meet the staff at you know what I'm going to say here, probably. Yeah. And I was over at the high school. I came to meet the high school staff. It was after school. Tried to make it quick because nobody likes to stay after school. And you came up to me and you said, and I was coming from Red Bank Regional, and you said to me, do you remember what you said to me?
I said that I was going to do the game ball and be Red Bank or I'll get used to winning football.
Thank you. She said, get used to I'm still waiting for the game ball on it. You said to me, you know, get used to winning a lot of football. Get used to being in a school that wins a lot of football games, something to that effect. And you're right. You're absolutely right. But more important than winning football games, and I will say, you know, we hear it a lot, but more important than winning football games is that you teach these young people how to be leaders. You teach these young people how to respect and how to be teammates and how to support one another and how to just be great human beings. And that is far more important than any number of wins. That's thousands of wins right there, right? So we're here today for two reasons. We've asked you to come tonight for two reasons. One, to honor you as this year's 2022 Freedom Division Coach of the Year, which is outstanding. And during the season, I believe it was against the Brick Township Dragons, if I'm not mistaken. You became, with the 87th win, which now stands at 89 and growing, right? The winningest coach in Ocean Township Spartans football history.
Big red.
So, big red, big red. So, Don Klein, if you would be so kind, I think Ms. Kasuba has a expert certificate for you, and we'd like to take a picture or two if we can.
Do you want to say anything or?
No, I'll probably cry. I'm gonna answer. Thank you very much for the recognition, to the board and to our administration. But it gets back to like the players and the families, the former families and the former players. To be here on a Tuesday night before Christmas, to take time out of your schedules, to come and be here part of it means the world. So we do what we do to have success. I think having success is important. But like you mentioned, we want to create great young men that go on to do great things from here. Been fortunate for 16 years to do that at a pretty high level. And I appreciate you guys. It's all about the players and the families and my coach. Coach Sims here tonight. Outstanding staff that I've been able to work with for a long period of time. So not about me, it's about me. And I appreciate you guys. I love you guys very much. And like I said, to be here on a Tuesday night when they could be doing a million other things, to be here means a lot to me as a community. So thank you very much. Thank you, Coach Sims.
Coach, you don't really know how to cry. I'm telling you. Okay. You want to hear from this first team?
Yes. Yeah, need a spot.
Very nice. Very nice. That'll tear out.
All right. Concludes my report. Mr. President.
Just want everybody.
Good night.
Everybody that's remote, we're gonna wait till the crowd clears out a little bit. Ms. Schuber, I think we can get back on schedule here. Do you have anything you'd like to make?
In terms of the VA report, we're just starting to get in a lot of the equipment that we ordered back in July. So to some of our kitchens, over the break, we're going to be installing a brand new, very big freezer at TOIS. And in the elementary schools that don't have it, we're putting in dishwashers so that we're able to work our pre-K program, and they're going to have individual plates and forks because we're starting to serve as part of a learning experience for the children. So there's some exciting things that are starting to come in now, and we're going to start installing them. But it took close to 6 months to get all the equipment in.
Wait, do they not have dishwashers?
No, Dow did, but the other elementary schools did not. So we're installing those now, and we're going to be able to serve on real plates for the pre-K, so that they learn about eating together and socializing and trying different foods, for the first time. So Ms. Hanson's been working that with her team, and it seems to be doing pretty great with everybody. Getting good feedback.
Good, good. Okay, great. We'll move on to public comment. The following series of motions to be read by the committee chairpersons. Our motions have been discussed at a recent public work session. Some motions have been approved at a public work session, and the minutes for the approved items are posted on the district website. At this point in the meeting, we will now conduct the first of two public comment sessions. The first session will be for public comments on agenda items only. The second session will be at the end of the meeting and will be on any topic. Would anyone from the public like to make a comment on any agenda item at this time? So I'm assuming nobody here does, right? Mr. Conway, anybody remotely like to make a comment?
No, President Weinstein, there are no public commenters.
Okay, great. Ms. Gilman, approval of minutes?
Certainly. Move to approve the meeting minutes in accordance with Board of Ed bylaws 0168, recording of board meetings from our executive session minutes, November 28th, 2022. And move to approve the meeting minutes in accordance with Board of Education bylaw 0168, recording of our board meeting for work meeting and executive session minutes from December 6, 2022.
Second, great. Any comments?
Seconded, I apologize. Thank you.
Amy, we're gonna fight for him tonight.
Any comments? Are we doing all in favor?
Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any need to recuse? Thank you.
Great, thanks. Financial management and resource services, Natalie?
Thank you, Mr. Weinstein. I have 15 items for approval this evening. 6.1, following resolution certifies budget balances at the end of November 22 were adequate to pay all remaining obligations of the 22-23 school year. And the board is also certifying that the independent reports of the treasurer and the business office are in agreement. 6.2, motion to transfer monies from one account on the budget to another and provide the adequate balances referred to in the first motion as per the below. 6.3, move for approval of the following paid items as listed below. 6.4, move to approve the use of facilities as per the attached memo dated December 20th, 2022. 6.5, move to approve the following security drills for November 2022 as listed below. 6.6, move to approve the following companies to provide optional accidental and personal sickness indemnity and life insurance policy coverage for all district employees at their own expense for the calendar year 2023 as listed below. 6.7, move to approve a resolution approving Security Benefit Group as a new provider for the district's health plans as listed below. 6.8, move to approve the following companies and standard sharing and hold harmless agreements per IRS regulations as listed below. 6.9, move to approve the annual approval of the school district cafeteria 125 plan. The plan allows for the carryover of up to $610 of unused balances to the next year with a total contribution limit of $3,050. 6.10, move to accept an award from the Philadelphia Zoo in the amount of $2,000 for district students winning first and second place in the Unless contest. 6.11, move to approve a rental agreement for use of the pool facility at the JCC Jersey Shore for high school swim team practices and swim meets for the 23-24 season at a total cost of $21,944 as per the attached. 6.12, move to approve the school employees health benefits program resolution for the employee prescription drug plan and the termination of Express Scripts as attached. 6.13, move to approve the following resolution, reject all proposals submitted for payroll services as follows. 6.14, move to approve an increase in hourly minimum wage by job categories in consideration of the New Jersey Minimum Wage Act as listed below. And last, 6.15, move to accept the Emergent and Capital Maintenance Grant Award in the amount of $80,860 for fiscal year 23 as per the attached. May I have a second?
Second. Ms. Beal?
Yes.
Ms. Gilman?
Yes.
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 Mr. McCarthy?
Yes.
Ms. McGovern?
Yes.
Ms. Malamas?
Yes.
Ms. Delarico?
Yes.
Ms. Tortorella?
Yes.
Mr. Weinstein?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Irene, number 7.
Yes, 4 items for our consideration. 7.1, move to approve the request of a Stockton University student to fulfill their clinical practice requirements in accordance with the attached memorandum dated December 15th, 2022. 7.2, move to affirm the district's out-of-school suspension report for the month of November 2022. 7.3, move to approve the attached memorandum dated December 15th, 2022, staff professional development activities in accordance with our policy 6471 and NJAC 6:23A-7. The attendance at said activities is fiscally prudent and will promote the delivery of instruction and or further the efficient operation of the district. And 7.4, move to affirm the receipt of the following harassment, intimidation, and bullying incident summary reports for the 22-23 school year. The reports were previously provided to the board by the superintendent of schools, and the board has reviewed the reports and affirms the superintendent's reports. HIB report number 6 from December 6, 2022, and HIB report number 7 from December 20th, 2022. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, I'm sorry.
Don't we, I think we have to, don't we have to make an amendment to that or?
To the HIB.
The HIB report discussion from tonight.
The second one, are we not approving that?
I don't think we're approved this.
You have to approve 2 of the
You
3.
have to approve
reports.
2 of them. We're taking the other one away.
As
Okay.
the third report is
The report
Okay, so
has
we're gonna approve 2 of the 3.
Of the suspension.
Right.
in the second, in today's report, 2 of
Today's
the
report.
2 of the 3 were approved, right? We'll pull the other one for, okay?
Yes.
Correct?
Okay, great.
Okay. Ms. Beal?
Yeah.
Ms. Gilman?
Yes.
Ms. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy?
Yes.
Ms. McGovern?
Yes.
Ms. Kalamis?
Yes.
Salarico?
Recuse myself from number 6, December 6th. Yes, for the other,
Which one are you recusing? I'm sorry.
December 6th.
the December 6th report.
December 6th report. Okay. But yes to everything else?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Tortorella?
Yes.
Mr. Weinstein?
Yes.
Okay.
Denise, personnel?
Yes, I have 12 motions this evening. 8.1, move to approve the retirement of Michael Hall, Network Manager, effective December 1st, 2023. 8.2, move to approve the request of District Employee number 6228 to use 60 days from the Sick Personal Leave Bank. 8.3, move to approve Yavuz Ozcan as a playground aide at the Wayside Elementary School. 8.4, move to approve an unpaid family leave for Allison Connolly, Equity Social Emotional Learning Coach, district-wide for the period of December 13th through January 2nd. 8.5, move to approve an unpaid family leave for Jenna Siriani, Instructional Assistant at Wanamassa for the period of February 23rd, 2023 through May 19, 2023. 8.6, move to approve an unpaid family leave of absence without the continuation of benefits for Ronald Pearson, Custodian 1 at Wayside. 8.7, move to approve an unpaid family leave for Jeffrey Siciliano, Instructional Assistant at the high school for the period of February 20th through May 7th. 8.8, move to approve that a revised contract be issued to the following as listed below. 8.9, move to approve that a revised contract be issued to the following bus driver as listed below. 8.10, move to approve a revision to an unpaid family leave of absence for Mary Chorman, ESL teacher at the high school to reflect a change to her last day of work, January 5th, an earlier start to the unpaid family leave, February 9th, 2023 through May 5th, 2023, and an earlier return to work date, May 8th, 2023. 8.11, move to approve substitute teachers as listed below. And lastly, 8.12, move to approve that contracts be issued to the following as listed below. May I please have a second?
McGovern.
Ms. Truba?
Yes. Ms. Beal?
Yes.
Ms. Gilman?
Yes to all but 8.5. I recuse myself.
Thank you. Ms. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy?
Yes.
McGovern?
Yes.
Ms. Kalamis?
Yes.
Ms. Telerico?
yes,
Ms. Tortorella?
Yes.
Mr. Weinstein?
Yes. Public relation, good. Public relations, Ms. Hayes?
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm pulling it up. 9.1, resolution to approve, move to approve a resolution honoring the following outgoing Board of Education member, Mr. Jeffrey Weinstein. We have a little plaque here.
Oh, very nice.
I can read this though, right? Normally we don't want to read things.
These are.
Resolution adopted by the Township of Ocean Board of Education for Jeffrey Weinstein. Whereas Mr. Weinstein has served our school district with dedication and enthusiasm since 2018. And whereas he has held many positions of importance, including president of the Board of Education for 2022 and vice president for 2021. He has served as the chairperson of the Policy Committee, chair of the Technology Committee, and member of the Financial Management and Resources Services Committee in 2021, chairperson of the Technology Committee in 2020, and co-chair of the Technology Committee in 2019. And whereas he has long been considered a committed and caring person whose leadership and high standards has remained steadfast throughout his tenure as a member of the board. He has earned the respect of everyone associated with the Township of Ocean Board of Education for his valued experience and guidance. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Township of Ocean Board of Education hereby expresses its sincere gratitude to Mr. Jeffrey Weinstein for his invaluable service to the Board of Education and wishes to extend him all good wishes for good health and happiness as he ceases active participation as a member of this board. Signed by the superintendent and dated on the 20th.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Okay.
Part two.
Part two.
Wait, would you like to say anything now?
No. I think I said all my stuff before.
I think you nailed it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
What?
I said, I think you nailed it.
Oh,
Oh, wait, we have to vote, don't we?
Well, you saw.
we have to.
Oh, sorry.
Number 10.
9.2, move to approve the Township of Ocean Board of Education meeting schedule for the period of January 23 till December 2023. And it's
Second.
on the screen.
Mr. McCarthy.
Any discussion? Any topic? No. Okay. I think
Ms.
we can
Beal?
vote.
Yeah.
Ms. Gilman,
Yes.
Says,
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy,
Yes.
Ms. McGovern,
Yes.
Ms. Paralamas.
Yes.
Ms. Talarico,
Yes.
Ms. Tortorella,
Yes.
Mr. Weinstein,
Yes.
motion carried.
Thank you all. Thanks. Thank you all. Old business, anybody? John?
Did anything come out of the roundtable in regards to what is going on with the S2 funding formula investigation task force? Bill?
Jim Stavenkowitz.
Did anything come out of it? It was really preliminary, it was a preliminary meeting to discuss. There were 9 superintendents present from LD11. Each person had an opportunity to kind of share their main concerns moving forward, which we all did. Obviously, there was a lot of overlap because of the people who were adversely affected by, and adversely affected by us too. You have some who were the beneficiaries of us too. So we didn't all share we don't share the same issues. However, we did share the same resolve in that we wanted to make sure that more than anything that the Department of Education and the legislature was really hearing the needs of the educators and listening to the educators, as as we know more than any what's going on, and better than any of what's going on in our district. So they took down everything we had to say and vowed to represent us and represent our interests. And the next step will be another meeting. Probably sometime in the first. Nothing was precisely pinned down, but probably sometime in the spring to meet again to follow up on what we've already discussed and other issues that may arise at that point. I think it was a productive meeting, but it was not something that I don't know that we're going to see any immediate results. We did talk a lot about just the sort of the slow nature of how these things sometimes operate, the legislation that's on the table, why it's perhaps not moving anywhere, and what we need to do to get it to move. So it was an overall productive meeting.
What was proposed that we need to do to get it to move?
I think I think we were really talking mostly about sort of the stalemates that exist within at Trenton. That was the main sort of thrust.
Was there any discussion on what's going to happen with surplus revenue from New Jersey state taxes this year, and if any of that's going to be given to our schools?
No, we didn't really discuss that. It's about an hour, it was about a 90-minute meeting. And once again, you put, 9 superintendents in the room, we barely had a word to get it to any other words wise. So, but it was a good conversation. It was a very good conversation. We appreciate, the assembly people having us in.
Okay, any other old business? Anybody else bring up? Yep.
I was just wondering about the Citizens Advisory Committee. What happened to it?
We voted not to do it.
We're not doing it?
I believe you all voted
It was a
No,
vote not
was
to
I
do
not there? Okay.
Maybe.
It was a vote not to do it.
a few months back.
I think it was a,
I don't remember
I think it was a 4, was it a 4-4 vote? It might have been,
Was it in November?
it was a pretty close vote. Yeah. I think it was a 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think we had a stalemate. It was yeah.
You can always bring it up again.
Yeah, you can always bring it up again. Yep. Anything else? Yep.
I think I have 2, but for now I'm finding 1. I think it was maybe in September or August, correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone remembers, we had discussed creating some kind of a system to verify the addresses of students who go to the magnet schools or county vocational schools, to make sure they're still at the address of when we send them for 9th grade. And Dr. Svenkwitz had said, yeah, we'll enact this plan, by the end of the year. So I'm just wondering if we can get that moving and maybe get it on the agenda for the early part of the year, so that we can kind of have some formalized plan to check or whatever it is we needed to do. Has there been any more thought about that?
No, I haven't. I mean, I think, as we get closer to, typically every year, I would say, April, May, give or take, we get the list of students who are attending the vocational. So I think at that point, once we know exactly who it is.
Wait, in May, we don't know about the students that have been going all year?
Well, we get the new list. We get the new list of incoming students, those who are going to be new freshmen. We know if anybody came out, but vocational is sometimes fluid. The career academy is not as much, but shared time programs, things like that. It can be fluid. The shared time programs, but that wouldn't be something we would do because they're with us half the day anyway. So, I think that that's probably the best time to do it when we get the new list. We haven't. We really haven't had a lot of time to worry about that at this particular time of the year, but we certainly can revisit it as we go into the
So
spring.
starting, okay, but if we wait till a May list, that's really for the next year's class of kids, right? Or all 4 years of. I thought we were committing to doing something for this year, so that doesn't do anything for this year. Then.
Well, we can,
is that a truancy officer? Who would do that anyway? Like, would that even be us? Would that be a truancy officer? And that's the PD?
What we really have to do is we would just have to reach out to these individuals and ask them to be able to provide us with, current address. And then if
Utility bill.
like a utility bill or some kind of formal bill, which we certainly can do. My worry is, if we don't flip that back, if we don't, we don't really have a great mechanism for if, say, someone doesn't get it back to us. There's not a lot we can really do about it, and sending out our right now, our claims officer is extremely busy dealing with, trying to look up all the people that are here, right? So it's a little bit of an undertaking.
Something like the letter wouldn't be that big of a lift.
No, we can certainly do that. Like I said, I don't know that in the conversation. Looking back into it last year from a wet situation, there really isn't we don't have a lot at our disposal to address some of these things if people don't send it back to us. It's if they send it back, if we can't just assume if they don't send something back to us that they don't live in town, right? So it's just a lot of person hours to follow up on all this stuff, and I don't know that it's
How many hours it would be until we do it once, right? How do we know how many hours it would be?
how many hours it would be. I mean, we have dozens of kids potentially, and the time that our guidance officer has or doesn't have based on the investigations they're doing for the kids who are attending here. So it would be a lot. I'm not saying we shouldn't do it. I think we should, but I don't know that the processes that we have in place right now would really get us what we desire.
Are you looking?
Yeah,
Something like 700 grand or something like that on all these schools.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm going to tell you that I believe that the overwhelming majority of people who go to schools live down. I think it's probably sure +%. The problem that we're going to have is, we're going to have situations where you have families who share custody with people. You're going to have those kinds of situations. So, I will honestly, we would give it more thought. With everything that goes on every day, that has not been a top priority, but we will certainly give it more thought. And, I think as we move forward to the end of the year, we'll try to come up with something formal. I'm just telling the board that I don't know. It's not going to be an easy process, is all I'm saying.
Is what we are looking to do, though, to Jim's point, is with the new enrollment, when we get that information, we want to partner with the VOTEX as well as the charter schools to try to get an enrollment process, just as if we have new students coming into our district. So we're going to do that at the registrar's office, and we're trying to put a letter in place to do that. And there have been conversations with the BA over at Monmouth Vocational, as well as some of the different charter schools that we send our students to. So it's not going to be perfect, but at least it'll allow us to try to get updated documentation.
They've made it very clear to us, though, that the responsibility
is on us.
It's not on them.
It's on us, right?
It's on us. Yeah.
So, as far as they're concerned, if we're sending them there, they live here. So it's ultimately going to be our stuff.
And my final comment would be, isn't there something like 170 kids? Completely trying to go off of memory. So even if there were 5 kids, like that's a teacher's salary. That if we shouldn't be paying for kids to go somewhere because they live elsewhere, if there's 5 kids, if there's 2 kids, whatever.
Yeah, well, any student who doesn't live here, we shouldn't be paying for it. No question.
I agree.
Sure. Agreed.
Okay, so maybe I'll check in like 3 months or something like that.
Yes.
So I'm sorry, but I got to talk about this till I'm blue in the face. So I apologize to the board in advance. But so the net positive that we gained, that we noticed that we gained in this meeting, I think is roughly $840,000 to our budget and what we're saving in prescription costs this year, right? We're still, so that would be $840,000 to us. We're still losing $500,000 in our budget this year because of the S2 funding formula. Go ahead.
Let me just, we're gaining that in prescription, but we're losing an amount that's over. Correct.
So we're still losing all this money, and maybe somebody can explain to me, because maybe I'm just misunderstanding this entire reallocation of S2 funding. But I'm under the impression that we are losing this money because we are an undertaxed district
in the past
previously, right? And this year, the state is projecting there's going to be a surplus in tax revenue of $4.6 billion. 4.6 billion, not million. And so we are being told that we're losing $500,000 this year because we were an undertaxed district previously. So I just want to know how that doesn't make sense to me. And then with that, and I'm again posing it to the board because I'm hoping that somebody can maybe tell me what we can do. But if there's going to be a surplus of money, I assume that needs to be reallocated. And I want to know what we can do to ensure that the squeaky wheel gets the oil, and that we're sitting here saying that we've done everything we can to get a hold of some of this money.
Yeah, so I could chime in just 1 second on that. Yeah, so we have applied for the stabilization aid.
Do we have any idea how much that's gonna be?
Well, we already applied for 2.6 million.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's for 1 year,
yeah, that's 1 year. So,
but the 500,000 that we lost is a recurring annual.
Yes, yes.
right, I think we want to separate out two things. Okay, one thing is that there's current legislation which sponsors the S2 funding, right? That's one thing.
Meaning what?
Meaning that law is in place and people, and they're implementing that law, right? So that's what's been going on since the law was put in place. So that's the implementation of that. The stabilization aid and the widening of the number of school districts that may get stabilization aid is probably largely because of the surplus that you're kind of talking about, and I'm not sure exactly how that correlates. So to address the S2 is really more of a legislative thing. That's the only way that's going to change is legislatively. And the only thing we can do right now is be a proponent of having that stable, of that being changed legislatively. And then also every time we're made aware of things like stabilization aid, like the grant we got from 300,000, anytime we're able to be made aware of that is to make sure that we're, pushing that forward and doing what we can to lobby for that. So I think the S2 is a macro problem that we have as a school district. I think we can only solve it somewhat right now by having, micro fill-ins to figure out how to address that. So I mean, when your board goes forward, you can think about how much you want to be more proactive in trying to do that. But that's something for the board to figure out how it wants to do that or not.
Have we been proactive in the past about these things?
Yeah, I think we went over it one time where we told you that we talked about how we joined.
It was told me, but I'm saying so we what was also told me in that same meeting was that those things didn't work, right? So now we have 9 very capable individuals here. Can we come up with another solution? Is there anything else that we could do, or do we feel that we've done everything we can and we're just going to sit down and accept this? Is what I'm trying to put forward. I understand that there's a lame duck board sitting here, and so I understand that maybe this doesn't need to be discussed right now, but I just can't sit here. I've been kind of poking at this now for a couple of months, saying what's going on, and we're not getting answers. And the answers that we keep getting are you're going to get stabilization aid, which is could be $2.1 million. But that doesn't fix an annual loss to my budget, right? So that means that in at least 4 years, it's going to be less than that because we lose more next year. But that loss is gone. It's eradicated, right? And then additionally, we're going to be sitting here wondering what we're going to do when it comes time to cut programs that we want in these schools and try to solve the problems that we want to solve as a board. And I just don't know that we're doing the best that we can, or at least trying as hard as we can right now. And that's not pointed at any one individual.
Yeah, my opinion on it was that we went through some processes where there were organizations that we were being part of. We went through those movements with them up to the point of where we felt like we were investing an inordinate amount of dollars. We took a step back once we couldn't do that. Not to put any kind of timing on this, but then COVID hit, right? Which was kind of that year right after. And that I don't think we got ourselves kind of focused on that. I think this last year, I think I was fairly well focused on trying to talk to people and understand the S2 funding equation and trying to get us money and trying to get us other things. So I think you probably just have to figure out what level you want to pick that up in the new year and figure out what level of aggressive behavior you want to have or what you want to do to kind of do that.
Maybe at the reorg, you can ask for a meeting since people will be here.
Meeting with who?
Bingo Hall will be here. You can talk to him about it and talk to some other people. Come up with ideas to do it. It's something that I was okay with fighting until the money wasn't making sense to throw at the fight. And so if we can find ways to fight without throwing money at a fight that's not getting off of the bottom level desk, then I'm okay with having the conversation, having ideas. But when it was sitting on the bottom level desk, not getting anywhere, and we were throwing money at it, it didn't make sense to do it anymore because we were already losing so much. And there has been, as Jeff said, money that's come in other avenues, because I would venture to say that somebody somewhere thinks the S2, somebody that is in a world that is much more powerful than here, thinks that the S2 funding is crap. And so they found different ways to throw things at us to keep us at bay. But you're right, something needs to be done. And I'm like I said, I'm all for trying to figure out ways with you to figure out ways to do it without throwing money down a sewer.
Mm-hmm. And John, you know, maybe going forward, looking toward an ad hoc committee.
I would love that.
Absolutely, to you know, a legislative committee, if you will, to figure out different ways, aside from letter writing or, you know, riding a bus to Trenton and walking outside with a picket sign, just seeing what other districts are doing and reaching out to our legislators. And so I think in the new year, that might be something that we need to look into, an ad hoc legislative committee. I don't think that our board is a lame duck. I think that we really have a desire.
Yeah, I didn't mean it.
We have the desire to go.
I'm sure as the new president to put that on the agenda.
Absolutely.
I just have a question about the advisory committee. I apologize, but on October 11th, it was on the agenda. And you asked me to update one from Winslow Township. And I did that. I sent it to you on October 30th. I was only not at one board meeting. When did this vote take place?
I don't remember.
Tina can check on the.
You might be able to check.
We did vote. That's why I'm asking.
I don't think it was a formal vote. I think we all just said,
Thought it was.
we talked about it was just kind of said.
But when was that? Because
I don't know, we can talk about it in January.
Right, but then in
8:40,
like I said, October 11th, you had sent that to me.
And get it to you. I'll get it to the entire.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It probably was after, I think it was.
Yeah, this was
Anything else?
just November, so I'm not sure when this new vote was. Right, thanks.
Old business, yep.
Old business. So I was at the poetry thing today, and Mr. Pendleton, I always say I'm saying Pendleton. He gave me my ID badge, and it made me realize, oh, we were talking about ID badges for school board members a while back. So and I said, oh, don't you guys have the machine here? And he said, oh, yes. So is it possible to schedule like tonight, whether it's just me, if anyone wants to join us, to schedule a time to go to the high school to get our own school board badges made so that we can walk in with some kind of identification when we walk on a campus, since they can make them at the high school? Is that possible? Since we still don't have
The pictures that they print at the high school, correct me if I'm wrong, is pictures that the photo company has taken. So they don't have photos of us.
We can do that. We can do them here. We can do them here.
We could do that.
That gets done here. That wouldn't get done in high school.
okay. When can I do that?
I could have Mr. Hall give you a call.
That'd be great.
Okay.
And that he laminates it. They have that machine here?
We could get something, yes. So what I'll do is I'll send a note out to everybody. I'll have Mike, and then maybe we could schedule, if you're interested, to come in and get the pictures, or we could do it at one of the board meetings.
I want the same font, Amy. I'm just kidding.
From the website.
Oh, yeah.
We could do that. I mean, I could try to do that. What about the pictures from the websites?
Mine's perfect.
Sure, that works for
Right,
me.
let me see if Mr. Hall could do that.
Younger than-
If he do that, then I'll do that. And we'll-
Sleep early 2 days.
Saying, as long as, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, it's so.
Alex, did you say you
I need business, so I can, oh, wait.
anybody can do business? Okay, what would you like to talk about in your business?
I follow the Long Branch Public Schools on social media, and they had what's called an articulation meeting with Jackson over special ed. And they said it was like super productive. The two, I guess, special ed departments met. Do we do anything like that? I thought, I don't know what that means. I just thought it sounded interesting and it very collaborative.
special ed directors of Monmouth County monthly, right? And most of these meetings, articulation, collaborative, professional development type meetings, right? Yeah, I don't know specifically between Jackson and Long Branch or, what they were trying to do, but I mean, our special ed folks meet on a monthly basis.
Collaboration, like the district that I think that's going to talk. The district, but I don't know what the purpose of their articulation was. Sometimes districts will meet to collaborate a program. Like if one district has an autism program and another district does,
Yeah, I think
send their students with autism to that program. So it could be, I'm not sure what their articulation meeting was about. So
it was just a really good social post too, to show how we collaborate with other, well, how they did. I just thought that if we do that, it would be nice to like know more about it. I don't know.
Anything else from the business? Okay, we'll go to public comment. Anybody here like to make a public comment? That's not. Mary Ann, anybody from anybody like to make a public comment at this time?
No, President Weinstein, there are no public commenters, and I want to thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you, Mary Ann. Great working with you.
Shen.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay.
You can't second your own.
Motion.